Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear postgraduate students in the Highway and Transportation Engineering Department, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the third lecture in which we will cover the writing part of Unit 1, page 7. This lecture is presented by Dr. Abir Khadr Jamil. The writing skills section in the first unit has two parts. The first one is checking your writing, and the second one is writing an informal email. Let us start with checking your writing. Imagine you are going abroad to do a short course and are going to live with a host family. What information would you give them and what information would you want? Think about dates, food, personal information, transport, computer access, and hobbies. So, let us thinking or imagine that we are going abroad for example for just 1 month, and we already rented a room in a host family. For this, we need to give them some information, and also we need to know information from them. What are the types of these information? It may relate to dates, food, personal information, transport, computer access, or hobbies. Let's start with dates. An example of dates is date of arrival to the host family, date of course starting, date of leaving the host family. So, the host family needs to know the arrival date, the course starting date, and the leaving date. Regarding the food, also the host family needs to know what type of food that the new customer prefer. The type of food may be vegetarian food, halal food, or may be related to same kind of diet such as keto diet. Personal information also very important for both, for the host family and for the student. It may be the name, if we having family or no, if we get married or no, if we having children or no, and sometimes information related to our course, and etc. Regarding transport information, an example of transport information is the way of arrival to the host family from the airport. The students here needs to know how can she or he arrive the host family from the airport. And also, the student may need to know if there is a close bus stop or no. Regarding the computer access, the student may need to know if there is a computer office in the host family, and if they have a free Wi-Fi or no. And regarding the hobbies, maybe both the host family and the students need to know the hobbies of each other. For example, playing games, reading, or cooking in order to create the conditions of doing the hobbies. So from the information we have now, let's us go to the second exercise. Is about a Turkish student which is writing to her host family an email. So in the second exercise we will read the email and answer the question in the exercise 2. Parko Sankak, a Turkish student, is writing to her host family. Read her email. Tick the items from exercise 1 that she mentions. So she mentioned some information we already mentioned in exercise 1, and he asked here to tick this information. Let us read the email together. The subject of the email is accommodation message. It is from Parko Sankak. Her email address is bsankak@mailnet.com.tr, sent on 16th of July 2011 to Mr. and Mrs. Baker. So Mr. and Mrs. Baker are the host family. The subject is accommodation. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Baker, I am very happy to accept your offer of accommodation. I am really excited about coming to London for the first time to do an English course. I am in my last year of school, and next year I want to go to university to study English language and literature. At the moment, I am preparing for my final exams, so I am working very hard. When I am not too busy, I spend a lot of time reading, but I also enjoy sports. I play basketball for my school team once a week. I also enjoy swimming. Is there a sport club with a swimming pool near your house? As I mentioned in my last email, my course starts on 24th of July, but I am coming 2 days earlier, and my plane arrives at Heathrow on the 22nd at 14:25. Could you tell me the best way of getting from the airport to your house? I hope to hear from you soon, and I am really looking forward to seeing you in London. Best wishes, Parko Sankak. After reading the email, we can now tick the item from exercise 1. The first one is, in the second paragraph, I am in my last year, and next year I want to go to university to study English language and literature. At the moment, I am preparing for my final exam, so I am working very hard. So this 2 lines is kind of personal information because Parkas was talking about herself, so we can say this is personal information. I spend a lot of time reading, but I also enjoy sports. I play basketball for my school team once a week. I also enjoy swimming. Is there a sport club with a swimming pool near your house? So these two lines is about hobbies. As I mentioned in my last email, my course starts on 24th of July, but I'm coming 2 days earlier. And my plane arrives at Heathrow on the 22nd at 14:25. So these two lines is about dates, days of arrival and days of course starting date. Could you tell me the best way of getting from the airport to your house? He's asking about, or she is asking about transport. So the four items of information are personal information, hobbies, dates, and transport. We can say that her name also is personal information. Let's go to exercise 3. And here we will read study skill. Read Porco's email again. There are 12 mistakes: capital letters, full stops, question marks, and spelling. Find and correct them. So in this exercise, we will read again the email in order to find out 12 mistakes. These 12 mistakes can be categorized or grouped into 4 types of mistakes. These types of mistakes are using capital letters, using full stops, using question marks, and spelling of the words. In this exercise, we should find out them and then correct them. Let's read the study skill before solving this exercise. Every time you write, remember to check your work. So when we write, we should check our writing. The checking is for capital letters at the beginning of sentences and for proper nouns such as names of people, cities, and countries. Full stops at the end of sentences, question marks at the end of questions, spelling mistakes, use a dictionary or computer. Spell checker or check to check your spelling. Keep a record of any word you misspell. Learn the correct spelling. So in the last one, spelling is the very common mistake that Iraqi students have, and in order to control this problem, we should do the following. First, using dictionaries or computer spell checker in order to find the correct spelling, and then record any word we have misspelled in a word in a paper, and record the correct spelling. This will help us to remember the correct spelling. Now let's go to the email again in order to find the 12 mistakes. I am very happy to accept your offer of accommodation. So, accommodation is the first mistake, and the type of error is spelling. There is a missing M. I am really excited about coming to London for the first time to do an English course. There is no mistake here. Let's go to the second paragraph. I am in my last year of school and next year I want to go to university to study English language and literature. The mistake here is English. English should be always written with capital E in the beginning of the word. English. Capital letter in the beginning of the word. Even if it is coming in the middle of a sentence, it should be written with a capital letter in the first of the word. Let's continue. At the moment, I am preparing for my final exams. We have two mistakes here. Two mistakes. The first one is at. At is the first word in the sentence. It is the beginning of the sentence. It should be written with a capital letter. So, at should be written with capital letter. And the second mistake in this line or in this sentence is I. I should be always written with capital letter. I am. If it is coming in the middle of the sentence, it should be written with capital letter. Let's continue. So, I am working very hard. When I am not so busy, there is a mistake here because busy should be written with you instead of I. So there is a spelling mistake here. Spelling mistake. I spend a lot of time reading, but I always enjoy sports. This is the end of a sentence, and should we write full stops here? So after sports we should put or write a full stop. I play basketball for my school team once a week. I also enjoy swimming. Swimming. There is a spelling mistake. Swimming should be written with double M, and this is the right spelling. Is there a sport club with a swimming pool near your house? This is a question. This is a question and should be ended with question mark. So, the eighth mistake is using question mark at the end of a question after the word house. Let's go to the third paragraph. As I mentioned in my last email, my course starts on 24th of July, but I am coming 2 days earlier, and my plane arrives at Heathrow on the 22nd at 14:25. There is 3 mistakes in this sentence. The first one is plane. Plane means flight, so it should not be written as this plane, but should be written as this plane. This is plane that means flight. So this is spelling mistake. The second mistake in this sentence is Heathrow. Heathrow is a name of airport. Is a name of a very famous airport in London. So it should be started with capital H. With capital H, no small h, as we are writing here. This is the right Heathrow. The third mistake is the end of sentence. There is no full stop, so we should write full stop at the end of this sentence. Could you tell me the best way of getting from the airport to your house? Question mark. This is right. Let's go to the last line. I hope to hear from you soon. Here means he used here in this sentence in order to get a reply from Mr. and Mrs. Baker. So we should not use this here, but use this here. So we have spelling mistake here. There are 12 mistakes. We managed to find them and also correct them. Well done. Now we reached the end of this lecture. Is the exercise of writing an informal email, because the email that we have read before is an informal email. So this an example of it was an example of informal email. In this exercise, we will ask you to write about 100 words to write an informal email. Imagine you are going to stay with a family for a short course. Write them an email. Write about 100 words to say you accept their offer of room. Tell them about your studies and your hobbies. Give them information about your arrival. Ask for information you would like. Check your work carefully. Give it to another student to check again. So in this exercise, I already received your work, and also I did put my feedback in your work, and I will give you again in order to correct them and then submit the final draft of this work. Thank you, dear students, for your listening and great attention. I wish to see you next lecture. Goodbye.